Okay, Sharon, tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do.
I am Sharon Cohen. I live in Ellicott City, Maryland. I am the mom of triplets that are now 22, and I'm a third grade teacher at Deep Run Elementary. I love Nurit and Sarah and this group of women who belong to this, fit with Nurit, and it's been a great experience.
Yeah, and shout out to Deep Run Elementary, the best school ever.
Yay!
So you are super inspirational. So can you kind of share with us what was going on with your health prior to starting the midlife makeover program?
I've pretty much done the weight gain and loss roller coaster for years, as long as I can remember. I will lose weight and then, stop doing whatever I was doing and then gain weight back. And every time it brought more friends. And so by the time I started last year with Nora and Sarah, I had put on a lot more weight and I was having to buy a size of clothing I was very unhappy about. I didn't want to be in pictures. I didn't want to, I just was uncomfortable in my body. And I felt like my blood sugar was rising. I was starting to get those pre-diabetes notifications on my blood work, and I got to the point where I was just really sick of it and tired of not doing anything to be in control. And the thing is, like, I'd had back surgery, years ago, and then I've done PT and I had thyroid surgery, and then and then I started exercising and I started going to Pure Barre, probably 4 or 5 times a week. So I was exercising a lot, but I was eating even more. So I had already fit exercise into my life, but I hadn't adjusted what I was eating. And so I needed to make some kind of change and I needed more accountability because as much as I thought I knew what to do, I wasn't doing it.
Let's kind of start with your biggest wins, physically, mentally, emotionally, all those things.
hmm I mean, I have lost probably, I'm getting closer to 40 pounds. It's between 36 and 38 pounds that I've lost since March 23rd. I went through shoulder surgery and still lost weight, even though I wasn't going to Pure Barre for 3 months. I just have felt so much better and in my own skin. I feel like, even though I'm not, perfect, but I feel like clothes fit that I hadn't worn in years. I've dropped two pant sizes, and I feel like even with that, some of those pants are pretty loose. So, um, I'm like, okay, let's get down to the next size. The more successful I am, the more I want to keep doing it. And the support from Sarah and Narette has been amazing. I feel like, and the people who are in the community. I mean, it's just seeing what other people have done and what other people have said really kind of inspired me to want to make a difference in my life. And I feel like I've been successful, and I can't always say that. Like, there's a lot of things that I do where I'm like, oh, I didn't do that well or whatever, and I just gave up. But with this, I had that support, and I do have that support. And I feel like that has really motivated me to keep wanting to be successful too. So I've had it from outside and, the internal, like, oh, this is working, let's keep doing it. And so it's been, really kind of a whole body change, like mentally and physically. My blood work, I think it was in the summer I had it and everything was lower. It's still like my blood sugar was normal and other things. And that was huge for me. My dad is diabetic, and I've seen other people, and I don't want that to be a thing. I mean, I already have other health things, but that was not something that I felt like I wanted to add.
All of those things are such huge wins. And, just kind of taking that leap after hearing, so many stories. And I know that you had said you had, done so many things. What, if anything, were you kind of like skeptical or maybe worried about before you started this journey with us?
I mean, really, the only thing I was worried about was the cost because, it's when you look at it, it's like, well, we have this expense and this expense. But the thing that I really realized is I'm worth it, and I'm worth, spending the money on to be a better version of myself. Like, I mean, I could easily spend $200 on clothes or something else, or I could spend it on my health, and that's what is going to maintain me, like, for the rest of my life. Like, I want it to be part of who I am. And, life is just expensive. So it's like what you choose to spend your money on needs to be something that you value. And this I value. And, I just needed to realize that that was important too. Like, taking care of my health was important too.
So how did the experience kind of like, losing like nearly 40 pounds, but kind of not just that kind of overcome your original
Mhm.
fears, maybe those uncertainties?
I mean, it's just been such a positive experience. Like working with you and Sarah and the whole community has just been like I can't think of anything negative about it. Like it just has been it's like, I'm always worried. Like I feel like I'm pretty hard on myself. And, after this past weekend where I know I ate more dessert than I should have and was not an ideal thing, it's like, I mean, I don't know if it was you or Sarah who wrote back yesterday, but it was like just well, it's okay. That's not, it's not a problem. You just move back and do what you were doing. And, it's just that encouragement has been incredible for me. Like I think I just, maybe I'm like the kids in my class who just need, that positive feedback. It really has been, um, what I needed. And you guys with your sense of humors and just your support has been amazing to me. And it just makes me feel like, this was the right choice for me overall. So, thank you.
So first of all, sending you so much love always. I love that you talked about Thanksgiving and that like did we tell you like don't eat this or don't eat that? Like or don't eat dessert? Did we tell you any of that? Like are there any foods that like are on a list of not to eat, for example?
No, not at all. I mean, that's the thing. It's like in a couple weekends ago, I went out for dinner and I had cheesecake for dessert and I ordered it off the menu. I didn't have to, but everybody else was getting dessert. And I'm like, well, I really want this. So I asked the servers, I'm like, can I get a salad? Because I didn't have it on the menu and they were able to give me a salad. I'm like, all right, if I get the salad and I have my protein with it, then I don't feel quite as bad. But if I hadn't, it would have still been okay. Like I just learned how to make, different kinds of choices, not just oh, well, I'm not going to get dessert and then crave it later on. Like that's the worst. And if I have a bad day of eating or I decide to eat, and not that it's a bad day, but if I make different choices than I would other times, it's okay. I'm going to still, I know I can get back and, maybe make different choices the next day. So there's no bad choice with foods.
I love that from like a mindset perspective because that's a huge part is like in our program and especially as you talked about like you'd always worked out but like our
Mhm.
relationship with food, our relationship with our bodies. What is your favorite part of the program and what do you feel like really like gets the results for people? Like you've lost 40 pounds while eating cheesecake, while eating dessert at Thanksgiving, while eating Thanksgiving food and you will continue, right? To like what to do. Like what do you think makes it like why do you feel like you are so successful?
I mean, I think tracking what I'm eating and paying attention to how many vegetables and how much water and how much protein, as much as a pain as it felt like at the beginning, it's now kind of second nature. And I think just thinking about that, like I am not a huge meat eater. I don't eat beef and I'm not like great about like that kind of protein, but I've found like things that do have protein or I've supplemented with, sometimes some other things, but I've learned how to make sure I had enough protein. And I think that has been huge because I feel more full. So it's just finding that balance and like having that guide, like Nurit and Sarah set up, like based on for my personal needs, like how many calories I needed, how much protein. Um, and then that really has helped. I see the numbers and it keeps me on track versus like a free for all. Because if I don't write down what I'm eating, then I'm not really paying attention to the macros and I'm probably more likely to have more of something that, maybe my body doesn't need as much of that. So it just that has probably been the most that and then the support um from you guys like just the positive feedback and the encouragement and I guess there's so many things but I had shoulder surgery and like just having the exercises kind of modified or encouraging me to go out for a walk when I was like feeling really crummy because I hadn't exercised in a while so that I think that just a combination of all of those things has really been great so I'm sorry I couldn't come up with one
No,
thing.
I love it. I love everything that you shared. So what would you say, and this is my favorite question to someone who's been like either following us for a long time or just started following us and they are thinking about doing the program, but or thinking about signing up for a call with us, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet. What would you say to someone like that?
I think just do it. Like I kind of hesitated for probably 3 or 4 months, um, trying to decide whether I should do it or not. And, I kind of wish I just started. Like, I feel like, to me, it's like you have to tell yourself you're worth it. You're worth, making yourself healthier or whatever it is that you're trying to decide. But it's you're worth it. And Sarah and Nora are incredible, and so is this community of ladies. And um, I'm sorry that I didn't start it earlier because I think, it might have been like, I had some years in there where I was just like kind of struggling and not feeling very good about myself. And I think this has really helped how I feel. And, also it's kind of fun to go out and get new clothes when you, when you do lose weight. But, yeah, I would say definitely just do it. You're worth it.